welcome to Asexual Perspectives Awareness Month After Party, Day 6. Happy Monday, if you're still in the Monday time zone, which I hope you are. I am in the UK. If you didn't already know about my channel, it's the place to be for education about asexuality, discussing relationships, love, life, sex, and everything else in between. Yes, please hit the big subscribe button now if you haven't already done so. Hit that bell icon and don't forget to give any videos a thumbs up that you like. It's fabulous to have you here. If you don't know who I am, I'm Sandra Bellamy, author of Asexual Perspectives, founder of Asexualise.com and founder of Asexualise Academy. So tonight we're going to be talking about what is nudity repulsion. And yes, I'm here live, so if you've got any questions, you can post them down in the comments below. I'm in fact doing a video live every single day throughout the whole of August. So anytime you want to drop me a message in between as well, the live chats, then go ahead and do so, and I will get back to you either on the next live stream or in the comments. So, what is nudity repulsion? Well, I have nudity repulsion. I'm nudity repulsed. Nudity repulsed is when you don't want to see someone naked. You don't like nudity. It repulses you. It makes you feel yucky and disgusting. You don't find it attractive to look at. So a lot of people throughout society, not only are they conditioned to think sex is the be-all and end-all, you know, like everyone's going to be having it, everyone's pretty much conditioned to think the naked body is a natural thing and everyone should like it, and you know, it's lush to look at. But I have naked repulsion, you know, and there's not many asexuals that are naked repulsed like me. Even though a lot of asexuals don't like sex, they still don't mind the nudity. I don't like it. I just find it gross, and I think a person's much better with their clothes on. Women, I can't stand being naked whatsoever. A guy, if I'm with him in a relationship, I don't mind his top being off, and that took me a while to even get to the conclusion that I don't mind that. But to be honest, I prefer a guy with no chest hair. I'm not into chest hair at all. I just don't like it. Looks a bit like a gorilla, but I know most guys can't help that. But I do like to kiss the chest and stuff. And if you're kissing the chest and get a mouthful of hair, it's just ugh. But for a while I was thinking, I'm not even sure that I wanted to see a guy's chest naked, but I've kind of experimented with that a little bit, and yeah, I like it as long as the chest is a nice chest. Aesthetically, it's fine. But women, I can't stand any nudity with women, and I don't need to see a guy below the waist at all. So I don't like nudity in sculptures, in paintings. I don't like nudity in magazines, TV, films, anything. I just really nudity repulsed. Now, this year was such a refreshing year for me because I came across my new BFF, who's called Sam, who came to my last asexual meetups, coming to the next one, the 8th of September, and he is also naked repulsed. So you can call it nudity repulsed, or you can call it naked repulsed, which I probably should have put naked repulsed as well as a word in the title. I might change that afterwards. But yeah, so he actually doesn't like to see a person naked. He was in a 3-year relationship, I don't think he'll mind me saying this, and the person, his woman, didn't see him at all naked for 3 whole years. You know, I have strong naked repulsion too. I mean, I tried to think to myself, could I actually be in a relationship for all that time and not show any of my naked body whatsoever? My initial thoughts are I wouldn't want to. But I don't know going forward how that would work, you know, when you're sleeping over. I mean, I know from the minimal experience I've had of that last year when I dated a heterosexual guy for 2 months, that I went into another room, you know, I went into the shower room and got changed all the time in there. And, you know, I don't want to live with the person. So if I'm not living with them, you know, it helps a lot because, you know, you don't have to be with them 24/7. And, you know, you might only have to get changed in your shower room or toilet, you know, twice a week or something. If they're only coming over twice a week if you want them over your home. Otherwise, you can just go out, can't you? Meet up outside of the home. But if you're into kissing like I am, you probably want some quiet time at home as well with each other. So yeah, it was so refreshing that Sam too thinks that people look much better clothed. I have clothes attraction as well, and I think naked repulsion and clothes attraction might go somewhat together, but I'm not sure about that because I don't know many people that are naked repulsed. But you know, Sam also thinks they look better clothes, but I actually have clothes attraction. There's certain types of clothes that I adore, like on a guy. Like I love the street look, and I love a guy in a suit, which is kind of like two opposite ends of the spectrum. One is like a really casual look, like hoodies, jeans, trainers, and then the other one is like you know, the other one is like, you know, a suit, like a black and white suit, so like a dinner jacket and stuff. So they're kind of like, don't, you know, they're kind of completely opposite ends. But as you know, with my personality, I've got like this quirky kid side to me, and then I've got this business side. And I guess the hoodie and casual street look is the sort of kid side of me, and teenager lifestyle, and then the suit is more of the business side of me. So that kind of like logically plays out in my mind as to why I like that. I'm also sex repulsed. I think probably if you're naked repulsed, you're probably likely to be sex repulsed as well, because you don't want to see the other person naked, so therefore you can't really have sexual intercourse. Well, it'd be quite hard. I mean, you could technically have it clothed, but you still have to reveal that part of each other. Do you know what I mean? Like a guy would have to like unzip his trousers. Hi Martin, I'm like quite a long way into this already. I'm talking about nudity repulsion today, and I was explaining that I'm nudity repulsed, that I don't like to see a person naked whatsoever, which is quite rare even in the asexual community. I was discussing the fact that I met someone like me, Sam, my new BFF that you've met at the Asexuality conference. You know, he's naked repulsed as well. And it was so nice for me to finally find someone like who understands me, and I understand him like that, because there's not many people that get the naked repulsion. And then I was explaining that I have clothes attraction. I don't know if they go hand in hand. I don't know if other people that are naked repulsed actually have clothes attraction, like attracted to certain type of clothes, but I'm attracted to the street look and the business look. And I was saying like they're two completely different ends of the spectrum, but then I've got the quirky like kid teenager lifestyle in me, which is probably the street look, and then the business side, which would be the suit. So kind of like it does complement my two different sides to my personality as well, which I think is why I like it. But you know, if a guy, you know, a guy, say a guy was wearing jogging bottoms, I wouldn't be attracted to him. I know that sounds so bad, but you know, like jogging bottoms are quite old to me. It's like quite a lot of like guys in their 40s plus wear jogging bottoms, maybe even a little bit younger, and it's just like, oh, it's like, you know, wear some decent clothes, like put jeans on and trainers, wear some like trousers or something, look a bit smart, do you know what I mean, or smart casual. It's kind of like, I guess maybe some people can get away with jogging bottoms, but I kind of see it as an older guy thing, you know. I just can't really get attracted to a guy who wears a sweatshirt with jogging bottoms. But a guy who like got say black jeans on, a white t-shirt and black trainers with his hair slicked back, you know, that's a nice look for me. I like the biker look a bit as well. Like, you know, they kind of wear like black t-shirts, black jeans and stuff. You know, they kind of, you know, I guess I like a little bit of the biker look sometimes. Like when I was at college, I used to wear like a leather waistcoat over like a top and black trousers, and I kind of like thought that was a bit like my biker look. And then I've got a jacket even now, which is like a silky one, which is like a bomber style jacket, and that's like my DJ look. So I kind of have different looks myself sometimes. I'm in my Eeyore nightshirt again tonight. Just looking like a little Eeyore girl. But there you go. Oh, that reminds me, I went to the cinema today on a self date, and I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. I have to say, if anyone's going to see it, they'll probably be disappointed with the action, because there was barely any in it. If you like romantic comedy, then I'd say, yeah, go ahead and watch it. But if you're looking for tons of action, Ant-Man and the Wasp was not the usual Marvel film. I mean, that action was really lacking. The storyline was quite slow. It was really predictable. And, you know, the only thing that wasn't predictable was a very, very little end bit after the credits started. You know, where they have that bit to watch the next film. That was like the only bit that wasn't predictable. So, you know, I have to say that I don't think it was that good compared to the rest of the films. I hate saying that about Marvel films because I love Marvel films, but, you know, I wasn't that impressed, to be honest. I just thought, well, this is really slow. Where's the action? And the action that was in it wasn't that bigger action. It wasn't that great a deal. It was funny in quite a lot of places, though, and it was romantic, you know? It's like if you want a romantic comedy with just a tad of action and superhero thrown in, then go for it. But if you're used to, like, the bang, 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 woo type thing, then just don't watch it because you'll be a bit disappointed, or know that I've told you that now, and so you don't go in with any preconceived ideas that's going to be action orientated. Think it's not action orientated at all, and then maybe you'll be happy with the little bit of action that is in there. The special effects were good, though. I'm not going to lie about that. The special effects were brilliant. I mean, oh yeah, thanks. Someone else has just joined us, and I'm now talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp because I've already talked about Naked Repulsion. Naked Repulsion, in case you didn't know, is when you don't like to see someone naked. So going back to Ant-Man and the Wasp, yeah, it wasn't really my type of, you know, like, film in the sense that the action was lacking, but it was my type of film in the sense of superhero Marvel, you know, stuff. I loved it from that point of view, and it was just nice to get out to cinema and have a self date. Like, you know, this week I feel like I've got to change my life a bit. I think on Wednesday I'm going to do a bit of reflection about the main areas of my life and start making some changes. I need to be going to the cinema quite a bit, really, because it just eases my soul. Going on self-dating just makes me feel so much better, and when I stop doing it or don't do it as much, it kind of makes me feel like I'm out of touch. I'm not enjoying life as much. I'm not thinking of me. I'm just busy at my computer all the time, and it's not healthy for me. And also, like, tomorrow I'm going out dancing again, and I want to go out dancing more, you know, to that place again that has foreign guys. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I don't mind dancing on my own, but, you know, I'd rather be around foreign guys than British guys, as you know, in terms of romance and stuff. And I kind of think at the moment, well, I haven't got a partner, I'm happily single, so I think, yeah, go out, Sandra. You know, if you meet some nice foreign guys and want to dance with different foreign guys, go for it, because there's nothing to stop me, is there? I mean, I'm really young. It's about time I went out and did this dancing, because it's something that's been in my soul for a couple of years now, and I've been putting it off because I've got no one to go with. So I'm literally going on my own, and I'm sure that as time goes by, if I go there quite a bit, I'll make some friends there. And so, you know, it'll all be good. And you know, I don't know at the moment if I can go every week. I might have to go every 2 weeks dancing on my own, because, like, I have fibromyalgia, which I don't really talk about, right? But, you know, like, it's kind of like dancing is hard on the body, and my worst affected areas tend to be my leg areas, right? But dancing's really good, you know. I need to get out of my flat more. I need to get into connection and connectivity. It's really interesting. I read an article last night about how to, you'll be laughing at me, like how to reduce a sex drive. Well, I don't have a sex drive, I have high arousal levels. So I was trying to, but basically people would call that sex drive libido. Because I have no drive for sex, I don't call it that. So I was looking at an article, I was Googling online, looking for articles about how to reduce your arousal, because I don't actually like feeling aroused all the time. It just really gets on my nerves, to be quite honest with you. And it's very off-putting after a while, and, you know, kind of like, you know, it's like I want to calm that down. So I found this article, I was reading it for ages in the middle of this morning, and it's really weird that it was geared towards all Christianity. And it was basically saying that masturbation is not good. It's a sin outside of marriage. And when you're in marriage, you're just supposed to be having sex with your partner. And the only good thing about it was, you know, the fact that they're trying to get people to control those sexual urges in the blog articles, because they're saying that you're supposed to reserve that for marriage. And if you can control yourself outside of marriage, it means you can control yourself when you're in marriage with that partner. Therefore, you're not going to go off and have affairs with other people, sex with other people. So I kind of like the morality of that essence, you know. But personally, I don't want to get married. I'm not strictly religious. I'm quite more spiritual than religious. So, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with masturbation as such, but even the heterosexual guy I was with dating, I wasn't in a relationship with him, I was dating last year, even he was obsessed with masturbation. He had to go and put a vibrator on himself every single night when he got home. And it's like, you know, he said don't get addicted to it. So I think for people who've got a real addiction that like doing constantly day in, day out, I think, yeah, you've got serious problems and you need to address them. And I also think for people who, you know, if you want to control it, which is a good thing to be able to control anything in life, rather than being addicted to something, you know, it is good to find ways. But, you know, I just felt this article was kind of saying that, you know, masturbation's a sin in itself. And I don't, you know, and it was also implying that there's some other areas wrong in your life, which was very interesting because I haven't seen this before. And it was saying that the reason people masturbate is because they miss that human connection. There's something emotional that's going on for them at the moment that's not quite right. They're not quite emotionally, like, you know, there's something. So basically something that's lacking in their life, like human connection, emotion with others, love, you know, all this type of thing. And I've kind of like come to the conclusion that, like, when I went out dancing last time, you know, I think I touched on it before, I missed that human, like that me to guy connection, you know, that warmth. And like the guy that I danced with, the Indian guy, I didn't want to kiss him for some reason, which was kind of weird. I kept thinking a little bit like, why don't I want to kiss him? Like, but I'm not really thinking that. I kind of was thinking about it, but not thinking about it. If you get my meaning, it's that a bit confusing. So I was thinking, what would it be like to kiss him, but I don't want to? Why am I thinking that? You know, that was just freaking me out. But, you know, I loved the holding him. I loved the cheek-to-cheek contact. I loved that warmth. And I think I've been missing that in my life, if I'm absolutely honest. And I find it really difficult because at the moment, I'm most likely to get out from sexual guys. And as you know, one of the ways I found out I was asexual was because I went to see a counsellor. I couldn't deal with that sexual energy anymore. I couldn't deal with the fact that, you know, they have this sort of sexual aura about them, this sexual energy, and, you know, they expect sex at the end of the night, you know. But, you know, when I go dancing, I'm not going for a date. It's not like I'm going on a date with someone. It's like I'm there to dance. And, you know, I've got to understand that I'm a really strong person, that I can look after myself, that I'm good with saying about boundaries because I'm very strict on when they touch. I literally move their hand if they're getting anywhere close to near where I don't want to be touched. And so, you know, I think I just have to have a bit more trust in myself. And I need to go out. And, you know, the doctor said a while ago when I had my back problem, that I need to be doing walking more and going out more. And I said that I like dancing, you know, and it's better than, it's better than paying for a dance class. What you pay for a dance class, which is more like an exercise class for an hour, and then you just go home and get hot and sweaty. And it's like a routine with loads of other people, whereas you go out dancing, you know, to a venue for about 3 or 4 hours, you burn off so many more calories. And, you know, I love the music, I love the atmosphere, I love being around those foreign guys. So it's kind of like much better for me. I don't mind going there because it's like a fun thing to do rather than I'm doing it for health reasons, like a dance class, you know. I hope you get what I mean. It's just so much fun. So, but I'm not sure I can do it every week because like last time I hurt my neck and it took a week to get over it. And kind of like, it was only like nearly exactly the next week, the next Tuesday, that it was fully recovered. So it's kind of like, you know, I might need recovery time, which is, you know, just natural. And also because I haven't been going out doing that type of thing, my body's not used to it anyway. Like anybody's body wouldn't be used to it, not just mine. So I kind of like need to get into the groove. And plus, you know, being with that Indian guy who has got a high sex drive, it's kind of like I need a week off from him. Like, if he does become like a regular dance partner, I mean, he might not, you know. Last week he probably danced with other girls, which is great because if I'm there again this week, he'll probably think, oh, well, tomorrow he'll probably think you're a better dancer, so I'll dance with you. But it depends. If he knows he's getting sex out of the other girl and he doesn't get out of me, then he's better off with her, isn't he? Oh, and I'm not at my parents' tonight. I didn't explain that. So I was going to go to my parents, but then things happened and I didn't have all the paperwork I needed to be emailed over there so I can print it off. So I'm going tomorrow now. And changing things around, which means I'm going there tomorrow. It's dance night tomorrow, which means I've got to be back early to go out late to do the dancing. But I kind of had it in my head that last week I wouldn't go and this week I would. And then Mondays is like bargain Mondays at View Cinema, which means I can see any film for $3.99. I want to see another one next week, Mission Impossible. So I kind of think that, yeah, money's a little bit lacking in it at the moment, but I kind of think I really need to do things for my soul. I need to like literally write all these, there's like certain areas of your life you should always pay attention to. You should pay attention to like this, like I think there's 7 areas. Let's see if I can remember them off the top of my head. Relationships is one of them. Hobbies is one of them. Spirituality is one of them. Family is another. I don't know if I'm remembering all these. I've remembered 4. That's not very good, is it? Anyway, yeah. Career is another one. And there's 2 other ones as well. But I got it written down somewhere, probably. That's like 5 of the 7, isn't it? Anyway, I think I've got it written down somewhere. Oh yeah, I do actually on my affirmations in the morning, but it's all over there. So I'm not gonna. Health, have I said about health is one of them. Wealth, or does that come under career? I think it's wealth as well, but I don't know if wealth and career are sort of the same ones. But yeah, there's a lot of different aspects of your life, like 7 different aspects, and you're meant to like address every single aspect, take stock of it, find out where you are, and if you're happy with everything, and if you're not, change it. But sometimes you can only change one of those things at a time. That's the thing. And I kind of feel like I want to change a lot of them at once. So it's kind of like, you know, but I think on Wednesday, I'm going to just sit down and write out how everything is going so far and what changes I want to make. And I kind of need to get into routines. I mean, it's like I'm live streaming now. I don't know anyone else that's doing live streams on YouTube every single night. I mean, actually, there's an entrepreneur guy. I think he live streams the majority of nights at the moment, to be fair to him. But, you know, asexual wise, I don't think there's any other asexual YouTuber that's literally live streaming every night. I mean, I did it all last month and then I'm doing it all this month as well, which means I'm here to ask any questions you want related to asexuality or any topics I'm talking about. I'm here to answer it live for you. You know, you don't have to wait to post a comment. You can actually just ask me now if you've got any questions whatsoever about asexuality. So going back to nudity repulsion, then one of the things that crops up at the questions is like, oh, well, it's natural to be naked, so why would you be repulsed? Well, my answer to that is it's not natural for me. I don't think looking at someone else's naked body is a natural thing. I think it's natural to have your own naked body. I still love my own naked body, but I don't feel it's natural for me to look at other people naked. That's kind of like intrusive to me. It's like I'm looking at them when I'm not supposed to be. It's in their it's like I'm looking at their body, but their body's theirs, if you know what I mean. And I'm going to tell you about something that happened on Asexuality overnight. Yeah, so I saw this guy on Asexuality. He's in the UK and he's foreign, but I didn't know his age. I knew he's probably like older than I'd usually go for. But I approached him because a lot of the things he said he was looking for in a relationship kind of like ticked the boxes of me. So he was looking for someone who didn't want marriage, didn't want kids, didn't want sex. Actually, I don't think he said about kids. But basically, he wanted to live separately to the person, not live together. And maybe he didn't say about marriage and kids, but he said he definitely wanted to live separately. He's looking for a soulmate. He's into kissing, with passionate kissing with the tongue. He's into public displays of affection, loads of communication. And yeah, so it's kind of like a lot of boxes he ticked. But then he started talking about making out. He likes making out. Well, I kind of didn't exactly know what making out was. I got a gist of it, that it's like basically when you're kissing, that the guy's sort of fumbling around with the woman's breasts, for example. If it's a guy with a woman, for, you know, because I'm just used to talking about that. Obviously, you know, it could be guy on guy, woman on woman. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm saying it's got to be this way. I'm just saying from my personal experience. I mean, when I say personal experience, who I talk to, because I really don't think I'm into making out at all. You know, it's really hard because you know, it's like this guy in Asexuality. I said to him, like, I wrote a private message to him. I mean, said that he had been interested in me. But, like, he's so much older. He's 53. He doesn't look at it. But he does look about late 30s, early 40s, which is older than I'd usually go for anyway. But I did say more power to him because he looks 10 years younger, at least, than what he is. And, you know, but he has to have the making out. He was explaining that he likes touching women all over her body. And it was just making me, that even him saying that was making me feel physically sick. and like really scared. Like, I just want to run away. I can't be doing with that. It's far too sexual. And, you know, he was saying that at some point, even if he didn't have that initially, he'd have to have that in the relationship. And I was saying I couldn't do that, you know. And I explained to him, I said, you know, to be honest, it's put me off you in that way, in that the sexual behavior. I just couldn't, you know, it wouldn't be compatible with me, because literally just him saying that I love your body, it made me feel disgusting and yucky and do you know what I mean, want to throw up. I just hated it. And I thought, in a way, it's nice he said he loves my body, but it's kind of like when he was on about, like, I need touching. And then what was really bad is he asked me if I was that way because I've been through trauma. I mean, he does say he's a grey asexual, basically. He doesn't say he's asexual, he says he's a grey asexual. But I was quite horrified of that. That really... I mean, I'm sure he's a nice person in a lot of other ways, but that just really definitely put me off relationship-wise. And... you know, it's just, I think it was not a nice comment to say. I mean, I did say to him, well, a lot of asexuals don't like that. You know, we get accused all the time of being, you know, we get accused all the time of, what am I trying to say? My train of thought's gone. What was I talking about? I was talking about the fact that he was saying, have I been through trauma? That's right. And I said to him, I said, asexuals hate being asked that. You know, they hate being asked, you know, are you asexual? Because you've been through trauma. Like, that's the only way that our orientation can be valid, if we've been some sort of trauma. And I said, no, it's just my personal preference and the fact I don't like it. Do you know what I mean? I was horrified with that question. I mean, he did say he's a grey sexual, which is not a pure asexual, but I mean, come on, it was, you know, that was the only thing I really didn't like. I mean, it made me feel disgusted about the stuff he was saying about love your body and wanting to touch a woman's body all over. I mean, that disgusts me because I'm naked, repulsed, and just the whole thought of a guy all over my body like that is just sick to me. But to me, you know, I know most asexuals will completely disagree with me. It's fine, you know, and maybe, I don't know, you know, in the past, you know, I was telling this guy, you know, it's not any trauma. I said in the past, I used to be naked with my ex, you know, my long-term ex. I used to be naked with him. But, you know, now I know asexuality exists and that I'm asexual. It's like, I don't have to have sex anymore in my life. I don't have to be naked with a guy, and I can still get love without either of those things. And so that's why I don't want them now, because I know I can get, you know, I know I don't have to have them, if that makes sense. Because I thought I had to do all of this before. I thought that's what was expected of me, that's what I have to do. And now I feel I'm finally being me and free. However, I do have this thing in my head that, you know, if I was in a relationship with a guy, a younger foreign guy, much younger, in his 20s, would I like to at all be naked with him? And at the moment, I've got to say no, you know, definitely not. Definitely, I don't want him touching my breasts. I just got this thing, because I said to this guy, I don't want my breast touched or my bum touched. And he's like, well, why? You know, that's when he asked about trauma. And it's like, why would I? Why would I want a guy's hands all over me? Like, down there, around there, why? It just disgusts me. It's like, get your hands off me. I said to him, it'd be like, well, they're mine. Get off them. Do you know what I mean? In terms of my breast, do you know what I mean? He's on about breast and bum. Do you see what I mean? It's like, they're mine. So it's like, get off them. I said, I don't mind looking at myself naked, touching myself as and when I want to, if I want to, but not someone else doing that. I mean, I've already said in previous videos that touching down below, if I've been in a serious committed relationship with my clothes on, is okay. I quite like that sometimes. It's just a bit weird me saying that part, but not the top. But it's like, you know, this bit, it's like really weird. But it's like with my ex, yes, I did used to let him suck my breast sometimes, which is really revealing. But you know, it's not like I haven't done that, but it's kind of like it was under certain circumstances. Like, it kind of like had to be like I was completely naked already and already doing stuff with him. So I kind of was in that position, but I don't want to be naked these days. And it's kind of like, I wouldn't have wanted him to start touching me in the top when I'm not actually naked. But then I don't like nudity. It's kind of, see, that's really complicated to me. It's like, well, if you don't like nudity, why did you even do that? It's like, because I thought that was normal. Do you see what I mean? So I kind of like, I'm like, well, if I was in a relationship, well, I like a guy sucking my chest bits, you know? And I'm like, well, at the moment, I'd say no. I don't know if that'll ever change, to be quite honest. You know, I just like, it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of like, get off me. Do you know what I mean? But I can't say, because I've had that in the past, and under certain circumstances, I quite liked it some of the time. It's kind of like, well, maybe I will change my mind, possibly, but right now I'd say absolutely not at all. So it's kind of like, I think you've got to give yourself some slack as well when you're asexual and you're on your journey of discovery, you know? I think you've got to cut yourself some slack and not be hard on yourself. Like, if I decide, like, say I got into a relationship with a younger foreign asexual guy, and like down the road, like, I don't know, 3-4 months later, or I was kissing him lots and it arose that I felt comfortable doing that, like I could change my mind on that if I wanted to. But right now, even saying that just makes me cringe and feel like disgusted, and like, why would I change my mind on that? I'm quite adamant on that, you know? So it's kind of like really weird for me. You know, it's kind of like I've had this heterosexuals in relationships in the past, but I, you know, I had one for 8.5 years. Was probably the most sexual I was ever, with my ex of 8.5 years, and he was actually good at sex, I can't deny that. But he was very attentive to my needs. Like, I actually think that a lot of heterosexual guys are rubbish at sex. Like, out of the 5 I had, like, it was only my last ex that knew what he was doing and very, very attentive and catering to my needs. Like, if he was touching me, for example, this is really personal, he would clip his fingernails and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Which you should do as a guy, if any guys are watching this. But and they are into touching a woman, you know, you should, you know, you need to do that. You know, it's like some guys have been with, they clean their teeth as well. You know, if you're kissing, it's kind of like good to do these things. Do you know what I mean? It's like really good. So it's kind of like, but the inexperienced sexual guys, for example, they would just want to stick their penis in a woman. Ugh. Do you know what I mean? Without any foreplay, without any touching, without any kissing. If any guys are watching this, thanks, Andrew. Yeah, but I don't know if you're actually into touching. Do I? I don't know if you're into touching. And yeah, you could have gone off. It could be someone else that's not watching me now. I presume it's still you, Martin, though. But yeah, I don't know if you're into touching, do I? Because we don't have these intimate, personal discussions, even though we're really best mates. We don't really talk about this type of thing. So I don't know if you're into touching or not, but if a guy's into touching, you know, like a woman, you need to make sure, like, I don't really go, you know, I haven't even said this in public on this video until now, like I just spoke, you know, if you are going to touch a woman, you need to make sure your fingernails are cut short, because if they're not cut short, they can get like bacteria underneath the nails and stuff like this, and also it can hurt a woman, scratch her insides and stuff like that. Laugh aloud. Oh, isn't there a lot of who's watching? I really need to get into live stream as well. But there might be some sexuals watching this sometimes, do you know what I mean? I think you're the only one watching right this minute. Other people keep coming in and out. I don't think they want to be seen. I think they're thinking, oh my God, I don't want to be seen on the live stream that I'm here. But I can't see them anyway unless they put it in chat, do you know what I mean? I can't tell who's been on my channel, like specific person, unless you raise a comment. I can't tell that. So, you know, but I don't know if you're into touching. I don't know if you want me to go into detail about how to touch a woman or female. I don't know how to touch a bloke. Well, I kind of do know how to touch a bloke. But yeah, because obviously I touch guys. But I'm like, I don't know how to touch a bloke. Yeah, I do know how to touch a bloke. But, you know, it's like kind of like I'm experienced at that, even though I'd rather not do that. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't want to do the oral thing again. It's bleh. So yeah, I had a live stream on Facebook this week. I have to tell you about that while we're talking. I had a live stream on Facebook this week, and I was talking about, because one of the Indian guy I told you who's not asexual, who likes me, he said I should do more YouTube, Facebook live streams about asexuality. So I thought, why not? So I did the question like, why do sexuals need to know about asexuality, you know? What's the point? Because, you know, I really need to speak to more people who are sexual to get them to understand asexuality better, because I've got quite a lot of sexuals obviously on my friends list. And, you know, I got some interesting questions, and one of the things I was saying is this isn't the same for all asexuals, you know, but I'm like I have high arousal levels, as you know. I know, Martin, you already know this because you've heard my videos a million times. I talk about this quite a lot. I go on about it quite a bit. Doesn't really help my situation, does it? And anyway, I was trying to explain this to them because some of them have never heard of it before. Sorry. I think I had something creeping up my leg. I don't want spiders getting into me. I hate spiders. And so, yeah. And anyway, I had this entrepreneur guy message me on there. And he's like, it's so funny with sexuals. They're so coy and shy and what they say. They're not, but they are. They just skirt around the edges. You know, like asexuals tell it like it is. Like, the thing that I found most fascinating about it is asexuals. We talk so much more openly and honestly and outright about sex than any sexuals do. They just skirt around the edges and they like embarrassed or shy. It's so funny. And so he was I was on about like way I like to kiss is very sexual behaviour, even with the heavy breathing. This guy was going, I said, which is really confusing for sexuals. He's like, my God, you have the heavy breathing as well. That is so confusing. I really don't understand. And then he's like, oh, if you won't have sex, will you do it by head? And I'm like, what do you mean do it by head? Are you talking about oral sex? Is that what you're on about? And then he's like, oh yeah, a blowjob. I'm like, oh, oral sex, yes. I said, no, I've done that in the past, but I won't do it again. I don't like it. I have to spit the stuff out. It's not very nice. I said, no, I don't want to do that ever again, you know? And it's like, why can't you just say the proper term for it? It's just hilarious. Skirting around the edges, as usual. But yeah, I thought it was quite amusing. So yeah, it's kind of like weird because the reason I don't do as many lives on Facebook, I guess, is because my parents sometimes look at especially my daddy sometimes looks at my Facebook. And it's kind of like if he looks at that, he will see my live videos about asexuality and sexual intimate questions that I get asked. And it's kind of like I don't really want my dad seeing that. But I have my page on public on purpose so that more people can find me to do with asexuality and I can raise more awareness, you know? So kind of like, well, and also I like to come on YouTube here to talk about things like guys that I've met maybe on Facebook, you know. That's why I kind of keep it off Facebook more, because if I want to talk about some guys on Facebook, you know, but make them as anonymous as I can be most of the time, then it's better if I talk about this type of thing on this channel. I can't really talk about it on there because the people that I'm talking about, some of them will watch me. So it's kind of like that Indian guy, he watches me on Facebook, you know. So it's kind of like, yeah. It's quite sweet though. The best term for something related to sex is a horizontal happy dance. Known that one for over 10 years now. I didn't know that. Tell me more, Martin. Horizontal happy dance. I have never heard of that in my life. That is hilarious. The horizontal happy dance. Oh my God. I'm going to remember that for the rest of my life now. Seriously. I've never heard of that in my life. That's just hilarious. Horizontal happy dance. I think I'd have more fun cuddling a cuddly toy lying down. That's a peach. That's really funny. Horizontal. Did you make that up, Martin? Did you make that up? Was that something that you said like 10 years ago and you made up and told the world now on my YouTube channel? Because I just found it hilarious. I mean, not everyone lies down horizontal as well. I mean, if you get into the realms of sex and the different positions and where they have it, it's another way of having sex with someone. Learn it from a bridge series. I wish I came up with it. It's another way of having sex with someone. Like, is it a sexual position or does it just mean they're having sex at a horizontal and they're like moving their bodies together? I presume it means that they're horizontal, as in like that. They're moving their bodies together as they usually go, like that. And therefore it looks like they're happy and they're enjoying themselves. I presume that's where it comes from, rather than it being a sexual position. Because you can have some very, very strange names for different sexual positions. Like I said, I bought, God knows why I bought my that little mini pocket comic book of sexual positions. Another way of saying the physical act of sex. Oh, right, yeah. So yeah, you know, I bought my that little book of different sexual positions because I saw him looking at a big book which had nudity and I'm Nudity Repulsed. And for Christmas, I think it was Christmas, I got him a present which was like a cartoon version with different sexual positions, just because I thought he likes that type of thing. I didn't think he wanted to try it all out on me. And yes, he was going do this position, that position. He was trying them all out with me. And I mean, obviously, at least in that way, I guess it wasn't so boring, but I'm not really into all this fancy position stuff. I kind of like just, when I was doing it, I had to, you know, I thought I was going to do it anyway. I just preferred the frontal position, but like, yeah, he was trying all weird sorts of positions with me, and I did do them with him, you know. I kind of just let him lead, and I'm like, some of it I didn't like. I'm like, oh, this is just weird. I can't even see your face, you know, because I'm not into sex. It's like I want to see the guy's face. You know, looking at other bits of him doesn't really interest me. It's just the face I wanted to see, because that's on a person. Personally, I get attracted to the face the most. So with a guy, I don't get attracted to him below the waist. I get attracted to his face. I mean, obviously, I could be attracted to his legs, for example, but I'm not attracted to his penis, for example. I don't like that. I don't know why women or men or whoever love a penis. I don't know what they like about it. I can't see the appeal somehow. It's just like, to me, sorry guys, but it's like we're looking at women naked as well. I can't see appeal in that, to be quite honest. It just looks disgusting to me. So it's kind of like, you know, I have a real nudity aversion, but like I said, a guy's chest naked, I can deal with that. I can be quite happy with that now. I don't mind licking and sucking and kissing that. But I usually like a young guy to do that with, you know, and being physically close, I want a young foreign guy. It seems to me that I can only really be comfortable physically with a guy in his 20s that's younger and foreign. I can't, they start going above that age, start going, you know, like late 20s, early 30s, particularly early 30s, and I start feeling it's too adult and sexual. And going back to the guy in Asexuality who's older and who was talking about he liked putting his hands all over his woman, which I couldn't have in a relationship. You know, I was trying to say to him that, you know, it's just way, way, way too sexual for me. It's too sexual in behaviour. I can't stand it, you know. Like, I have the problem where I like to passionate kiss, and for quite a lot of straightforward heterosexuals, sorry, not heterosexuals, because I'm asexual, not heterosexual. So, sorry, I'll rephrase that. So, for quite a lot of heteromantic, so romantic asexual guys, for example, who I'm interested in, because I'm not interested in women, like, you know, the way I like to passionately kiss, it's just too sexual in behaviour for some of them. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that. It's just yucky. And I gross them out when I'm talking about kissing that way, so I do get it. But then, you know, if I go the opposite way, you know, and I get sort of the next person onto the spectrum, the spectrum is me, the guy, he's kind of like too sexual for me, and I just want to run away. I told him this. I said, you know, saying about that stuff about putting, you know, like to put his hands all over a woman's body, like if he's in a relationship with me, for example, it just made me feel yuck and sick, and like I literally would want to run away and go and cuddle all my cuddly toys. And it's just too sexual and adult for me, you know. I like a teenage style relationship, you know, like with a guy in his 20s, younger, foreign, all the kissing, all the cuddling. I don't want the making out. You know, I don't want all this fumbling around with bits. It's like, you know, touch my back, feel really nice and secure and warm, give me a nice hug. You might get away with touching the side of me, that type of thing. You know, my shoulders are fine, face fine, hair fine, all that type of thing. But, you know, it's like, don't put your hands all over me. I just think it's disgusting. And I'm really, you know, I'm really disgusted, as you can tell at the moment. And I said this guy like a teenage direction, all the kissing, all the cuddling, public displays of affection, all the text messaging, all the communication, loads of kissing. You like, you know, like you see teenage romances. That's what I want. But I know some teenage romances have the making out, but there's lots that don't, you know, sort of the princess type style films don't tend to have that. They just tend to have the like long passionate kissing, like, you know, going on quite a bit. And, you know, it's like that's the type of romance and relationship I would like. And I'd like the guy to be really intelligent and really, you know, open up to me and talk to me and be my bestest ever friend. And it just seems like it's just really hard to get that in the asexual sphere. It's like a lot of people, as you know, are aromantic, aromantic, some people call it. They lack romantic attraction at all, and more asexuals are like that than anything else. So that makes it hard for a start if you're romantic. And then with romantics, you know, there's quite a lot of homo romantics, I find. It's like, well, I'm not attracted to women, and I'm not a guy for guys, you know. It's kind of like, so that's another barrier. And then you've got all the, you know, like the fact I love kissing, deep kissing with the tongue, and not many people like that, but I like to keep my clothes on doing it. So it's like, you know, it's like, boom, it's just a huge minefield of like mess in terms of like trying to get a partner. And so like, at the moment I'm thinking, well, I'm not really getting anywhere with that in my life. I'll carry on doing that. If I see guys on dating sites, I'll still carry on approaching guys, or if they approach me, I'll still talk to them. I still want to make more and more asexual friends, but as that's not really going anywhere at the moment, that's why I want to go out dancing a bit more, because I know that place that I go dancing, it's got lots of younger foreign guys at it. If I'm gonna dance with a guy, I'd rather dance with they're not all foreign though, you've got to be careful, they're not all foreign, and it's like when they get to a certain age as well, it's like I don't want them near me, I can't be doing with an older guy near me. But if it's a foreign guy, I can get away with it being older more than, a British guy. But I just, I kind of like, if I'm going to look around the room, like if I don't want to dance with the guy at all, I just look down at the floor, around at the ceiling, around at other people who are in my zone, and I don't have to like be anywhere near them, but if I want to dance or I'm okay dancing with someone, then you kind of have to make eye contact with that person. But sometimes I saw, like last time I saw some other guys looking at me, and I was like, I just look the other way, Sandra. You don't want to be dancing with them. You don't like the feel of them. I could just feel that I wouldn't like to dance with them. So it's kind of like, just don't give them the impression. Don't even look at them or make any eye contact whatsoever. Just, you've seen them. So it's kind of like, yeah. So that's where I'm at. Have you got any questions about nudity repulsion? I'm sex repulsed as well, which I've mentioned. Have you got any questions about any of this? Anything you didn't understand? Different asexuals like different things as well in terms of touching, right? So there's something in the community where people call about, it's like no questions from me tonight. Okay, Martin, thank you. So yeah, just to let you know, in the asexual community as well, there are some people that like to touch a person but don't like to be touched, and vice versa as well. So it can get really, really complicated. Some people like giving, like some people, for example, like one person likes masturbating the other but doesn't like it reciprocated. I did a video about this: reciprocated masturbation, non-reciprocated masturbation, mutual masturbation, solo masturbation. It's like one of my most watched videos. Some like giving it and not receiving it, some like receiving it and not giving it. And I don't know, with oral sex, I presume some of it might be the same, but I don't hear as many asexuals talk about oral sex. I think more of them talk about touching their parts, but not many people so much talk about oral stuff. I think that might be too much for quite a lot of people. Obviously on the grey and demi side of it, maybe not as much. They're probably more open to that even from the group I manage. So anyway, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Naked repulsed, personally for me, not for others, and sex repulsed. Yeah. Well, yeah. When I say not for me, it's fine with others. Well, I do with nudity repulsion. I find it hard that other people do like nudity. Actually, like not really if they're not related to me. But say it was my boyfriend. Like I had a boyfriend and he was going looking at that naked-bodied women. I wouldn't like that either. So I kind of really do need a nudity repulsed guy for a relationship, or someone that's indifferent, that doesn't go purposely looking at it. If it pops up, they're not going to go, ooh, yeah, have some of that, So I either need one who's repulsed by it, like me, or who's like, couldn't give a stuff nor monkeys about it. But there are quite a lot of asexual guys still that like going looking at it. They like looking at porn. Oh gosh, I just think, ugh. I just don't like it, don't like it. And I don't get that much angry out things, but if my boyfriend was looking at that, I think I would be pretty disgusted. And that's kind of why I need a guy who's like me in that way, to be honest, for a relationship. But like I said, nothing's going to happen much. Like, I think I'm just going to carry on being young, free, single, go out dancing, enjoy myself, maybe dance with different foreign guys, have a good time in life. Because at least I get that sort of connection if the guy's all right. I get that warmth if I'm aesthetically attracted to a guy, even though I'm single anyway at the moment, so it doesn't really matter if I hug someone, dance sexily with someone, kiss someone even. Do you know what I mean? It's my life, and if I want to do that, go ahead and do it, innit? If that's what gives me pleasure in a semi kind of way. It's like, until there's a guy that comes along that deserves me to be committed to him and is prepared to put work and effort into a relationship, there's no go anyway, is it? I'll probably be like single for quite a number of years, if not forever. But I think that if you are single and you really need that love, romance and affection, if you want to go and get it as a single person from someone you're not in a relationship with, then that's okay. Got the day off tomorrow, so don't worry about me when choosing a time to stream tomorrow. It's still Monday now, by the way. Okay, yeah. that's good, because it will be a different time tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm out, obviously, dancing. I'll be dancing at 11. I won't be here. I'll be out and about. So yeah. And I've got to go to my parents in the day. I've got no Wi-Fi as well when I'm out and about at the moment. It's only in my home. So that means it's really difficult to do a live stream. So if I don't do one in the morning here or tomorrow daytime, it means I've got to do one over my parents and stream using their Wi-Fi. But yeah, it's like, because I did a live video the other day. You might have noticed one of my videos, live streams, got whopped off a couple of days ago. At the Quayside, or was it yesterday? Might have even been yesterday's. Or was it the day before's? I can't even remember now, see? That's how bad it is. Oh, I think it was the day before yesterday. But anyway, it got whopped off because literally my battery, my allowance for the month ran out. So I can't really do the outside broadcasts hardly ever, because I get 2 gigabytes, but that's for the whole month. And now I'm left like, you know, I've got like till the 15th till I get renewed. So, and I don't think that's good, because if anyone wants to get hold of me on my asexual page or wants to private message me, they can't get hold of me when I'm out and about now at all. So I think in the future I'm going to have to avoid doing outside live streams, sadly, for the pure simple reason I haven't got enough data, and I can't buy data. You know, I'm not in a financial position to keep buying data. So I spend enough on my phone bills as it is, and my internet. So that's why I won't be really doing them outside my home, because I just, you know, I might do the odd one now and again, but in general I can't do them. It's just because I need that quality time with people, you know, that I get on Messenger, for example, and Facebook, or anyone needs me. I need to be able to be in credit, which at the moment I'm not even for my friends can't even get hold of me. So if I'm out and about, that's it. So if you try and get hold of me and I'm out and about, unless I'm at my home or on a place with Wi-Fi, I won't be able to speak to you. Sorry, message you. Just a bit of a pain. And until from the 15th though, I'll be back in credit. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. It's been a pleasure to say hi to you. Thanks, Martin, so much for watching. You're the only person that's watched this all the way through, and you're my biggest fan as usual. You're amazing. So glad we're friends. Really, really glad about that. And take care. Thanks for tuning in again. For anyone who's watching that isn't Martin as well, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon. You're welcome. Hit that bell icon and you'll be notified of every time I post a new video. And share this with anyone who may benefit. Spread the word of this channel so that I can help raise more awareness of asexuality. Until next time, brace your quirky and each other's, and I will see you on tomorrow's video. Bye!